All right, I am ready for the tea. Hi friends, my name is Jess and welcome back to my channel, Books Past Bedtime. So the other day on my Instagram, I asked for some unpopular bookish opinions, and in this video, I'm going to be reacting to them. Also, side note, follow me on Instagram if you want to participate in more fun polls like this, then maybe you'll get featured in a video. I say that like I'm famous and anybody wants to be featured in my video, but hey, follow me on Instagram. So these opinions could be anything. I didn't put any guidelines on them, so people came through with some different things, and let's just go through them and see what people have to say. So the first one here, I love Malian or 𝗕cie. I don't know how to pronounce these like Eastern European sounding names from the 𝗕𝗵𝗂𝗏 series. I'm sorry, his name is Mal. I read 𝗕𝗵𝗂𝗏 like 6 years ago, if not more than that. I think I read it in 2015 or 2014. I'm old. But anyway, I at that time did not like Mal at all. I definitely liked the Darkling in the first couple of books. Mal is annoying, and I feel like he had that like nice guy thing where he's like, nice guys always lose. Why don't you love me? I am your best friend from home, and you should love me and no one else. And stop being powerful. Like, you should be a weak girl. I feel like that's like the vibes I got from Mal, so I was not a fan of Mal, but go off sis, like that's great. I love that you love him. Next person says, I don't care about pretty covers or sprayed edges or fancy dust jackets, and this is also fair. I definitely feel like there is this big like emphasis on consumerism in the book world, and that's fine if buying books is what you love to do. That is great. I love buying books as well. Obviously, my shelves are overflowing and I have like 100 unread books, but I would also agree with this to a certain extent. I don't think I've ever gone out of my way to buy a particular cover or to get like a special edition book that has sprayed edges or like a different dust jacket. That's just not something I care about. Personally, I like collecting books I haven't read yet, so I have like endless possibilities of things to read. I'm not someone to like buy a book I've already read unless it is like something I absolutely love a ton. Like, I think it's much more exciting to buy a new book that you don't know whether you're going to like it or dislike it. I don't know why, and I know that doesn't make sense, and I know like my shelves should be filled with books I love or whatever, but like, why would I buy this book that I've already read? I feel like that's not as fun. Unless it's something I know I'm gonna like reread over and over again, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just not. Like, that's not what's gonna happen here. Although I do love that one company that makes like specialized book covers for like the Twilight series and like Percy Jackson. I think those are really cool, and I would be interested in buying those at some point down the road when I have a little bit more disposable income. But right now, that's not really something I love to focus on either. So good on you. I definitely agree with that one. And I feel like it's probably not as unpopular as you might think. The next one though, I definitely do not agree with. This person says that they sometimes don't read series books in order. Excuse me? The Virgo in my chart is screaming. Like, oh my god. Literally thinking about that makes my skin crawl. There has not been one time in my life where I've read a series out of order. It doesn't matter if it's a companion series or like a traditional series. I absolutely have to read the first book first and the second book second and the third book third. There is no getting around that, and it just freaks me out that you would do that. It just freaks me out that people would do it. My mom does it all the time, and whenever she says something to me, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack. But I love that you can do that. I wish I wasn't such an uptight bitch. Like, and hopefully you mean like companion series, like the like Chloe Brown, like the Brown Sisters trilogy. I can see that being read out of order. I'm okay with that. But if like it's like the Percy Jackson series or something that like needs to be read in order, oh my god, stop, don't do that. The next one is I don't like enemies to lovers because they're just so mean to each other, and I can definitely see that, and I think I'm pretty particular about my enemies to lovers. I definitely don't like when it verges into a bully romance. I'm definitely not here for a bully romance. If you are, that's fine, but that's just not what I personally like to read either. But I do like enemies to lovers quite a bit, and I'm okay with them being a little bit mean to each other as long as they're like really nice to each other later on. I definitely enjoy like a light enemies to lovers, like The Hating Game by Sally Thorne and Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This one's like very light enemies to lovers. They're only enemies for like a little bit, but I love those books very, very much. They're some of my favorite romances of all time. So I definitely love the trope, but I can see where you don't like them being mean to each other, because I agree to if it goes too far, it goes way too far, you know? So I feel that that's good. I feel like there's really not a ton of enemies to lovers in traditionally published romance. I feel like there's a lot of friends to lovers or like fake dating. Fake dating is something I see a ton. Next one, bookshelf tours are uninteresting. I honestly kind of agree. Sometimes I get in a mood where I want to watch one, but back in the day, I did absolutely love watching bookshelf tours. Like they were some of my favorite videos to watch. And I think that just comes like with evolving what you enjoy, what content you like to watch, and what you like to make. And I won't say I don't like watching bookshelf tours. I do, but they're definitely not my favorite videos to watch. So I can see where you're coming from. So this next one is a little controversial, but let's talk about it a little bit. This person said, just because an author is canceled doesn't mean I have to stop loving their work, just no money for them. This is an interesting one because I agree to an extent, but I also think I agree with the idea that like you can love the work in private, but I understand not promoting it because you don't want to encourage other people to buy that work and give that awful author money, especially if you're not giving them your own money. You probably wouldn't want other people giving them their money, you know? Like, do whatever you want in your private time. No one can stop you, but I don't think it's right to promote an author whose views very much differ from your own on your platform. I just don't think that that's something you want to encourage other people to monetarily support when you don't monetarily support them yourself. Does that make sense? That's the tea on that. Next, people who read bully romances have issues. I personally don't like bully romances. I would never want a man to be mean to me, or anybody to be mean to me, frankly. But if that's your thing and you like reading about it, I don't think you're hurting anyone, and you're probably a very nice person. I ain't here to kink shame, so read what you want to read. Next is 99% of YA thrillers suck. I think I would put the estimate at about 50% of YA thrillers suck, or maybe like 75. I have found quite a few that I really, really enjoy. For example, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is probably one of my favorite thrillers of all time, and it's YA. Also, Sadie by Courtney Summers is excellent, but I definitely get what this person is saying. There are a lot of bad YA thrillers out there. I honestly haven't read a ton of YA thrillers, but most of them definitely do not compare to adult thrillers, especially because you can't have the same content in them that will really make them scary or unsettling. So I definitely agree with this, but think there might be some more gems in the rough, if you know what I mean. Next person thinks Six of Crows is overrated. I read Six of Crows like back at the peak of the hype when it first came out, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so good. I loved all of the characters in it, Kaz and Inej and Waylon and Nina. I just absolutely loved it. I thought maybe it was a little bit long and got a little bit boring in parts, but I don't know that it's overrated because I feel like this is like the perfect quintessential fantasy series with really vivid and connectable characters and like shippable characters that really creates like a fandom community. So I definitely understand why it's so hyped, and there's so much like cool fan art and the TV show and everything. I think maybe the TV show is what is making it overhyped now, but I definitely think the series is worth the hype. I personally really loved it, and I'm very excited for the TV show, even though it's been forever since I read these books. I'm not going to reread them. I'm just going to watch the TV show. Disagree with this one a little bit. This next one also makes my freaking skin crawl, and this person said that they leave the dust jacket on while they're reading. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the identity of this person because this is disgusting. Darian sent me this. Darian, how dare you? We've actually had this conversation before. I don't know how they leave the dust jacket on. I have to take the dust jacket off at all times. We are never reading with a dust jacket. That is not how this goes. It just like, I don't like how it gaps at the back when you're reading it and it slides all over the place, and it just is not conducive to reading. Like I don't know. I don't understand. This one makes my blood boil. Darian, let's fight. I actually got two different Daisy Jones opinions, which is kind of surprising because I only got maybe like 20 opinions, and two of them were related to Daisy Jones. The first person said they hated Daisy Jones in the Six. They thought it was way too predictable and the ending was cheesy. And the other person said Daisy Jones in the Six isn't as great as people claim. I'm going to have to kindly say that you people are wrong. You're just simply incorrect. Daisy Jones was my favorite book of 2019. I love it so much. The audiobook is incredible. I thought the interview style was really cool and unique, and I just loved all of the characters in it, and I liked the ending a lot. I thought it was cute and it made me sob. There's always going to be people whose like books are not for them, and I totally understand that and respect that, but personally Daisy Jones is one of my favorite books, so I have to disagree. We have another opinion of a popular book that is overrated. This person thinks The Cruel Prince is overrated. I have only read the first book in this series and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very boring until the ending, but the ending like blew my socks off, so I loved that. And I also really love the characters. Like I think Jude and Cardan are very interesting characters. I can't really speak on this too much because I haven't read the entire series, but I liked the first one and I think it's like an accurate amount of hype because I see people love it, but I also see people being like meh about it. So I don't know. I can get where you're coming from, but I don't know that I necessarily agree with this. Let's just go through all of the specific book related opinions. This person didn't like Anxious People. This person is also wrong. Anxious People is an amazing book. I'm just kidding. This is another one that I can see why people might not like it. The writing style is a little different and the characters are kind of like quirky and it's kind of gimmicky, but I really liked the book. I thought it was great. So I disagree a little bit. This person hated the Shatter Me series, which I have not read and I have honestly no interest in reading. So I just, it just sounds kind of dumb. Like it sounds very much like quintessential 2012 YA, which is what it is. Like the love triangle and the not like other girls chosen one trope. And I don't know. I just, and like when people post pictures of the writing where it's like scratched out and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, why? That's so embarrassing. This person is not an ACOTAR stan. I'm not either because I've never read ACOTAR before. I probably will because I don't like being left out of things, but I have not read it as of now. This person thinks Harry Potter is boring. I feel like there's a lot of negative things about Harry Potter, but I don't know that I would say it's boring. This person prefers friends to lovers over enemies to lovers. I personally prefer enemies to lovers over friends to lovers because I like the tension, I like the banter, I like the angst, frankly, and I feel like there's more room for conflict and a passion in an enemies to lovers, and I'm into that, so I would disagree, but to each their own. This person doesn't like reading smut. I would have to agree. It just depends. I love reading fan fiction and I love fan fiction smut, but I really haven't read any smut in like a traditionally published romance that I enjoy. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with it being straight romance. I've never said this before on my channel, but I am somewhere on the asexual spectrum, so I kind of like to read the kind of smut that I don't have to picture myself in, you know? Like there's nothing about me there. So I think that's why I prefer fanfiction, you know? And I just don't like the vocabulary that they use in like traditionally published romance. I feel like some of it is just a little shocking to me. So I am there with you for the most part. And let's close off with a piping hot unpopular opinion, and that is that Talia Hibbert doesn't really write chemistry well. Now, that's an opinion. I feel like that was probably the most unpopular opinion I got, and I kind of agree a little bit. And I feel like that is one of the reasons why I didn't love Get a Life Chloe Brown. I just didn't feel like Red and Chloe had any chemistry. Like I wasn't really understanding why they were attracted to each other and why they liked each other so much. I felt like it didn't convey very well on page. And I also had an issue with like Red infantilizing Chloe. I just thought it was kind of weird and made me a little uncomfy. And I also didn't really feel the chemistry between Eve and Jacob and Eve Brown. I honestly didn't. I think that's an unpopular opinion. I think most people love Eve Brown, but I mean, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I really liked Eve and Jacob as characters, but I didn't feel the chemistry between them. I didn't. I agree with this opinion, but there is a but, because I did really like Danny, and I really liked Danny and Zaf together, and I think they had the best chemistry out of all the couples. So I do think that she got it right in that one, but I didn't feel it in the other two either. So I definitely see where this is coming from, but I feel like it is definitely an unpopular, piping hot opinion. But this is one that I kind of low-key share. So that was the video. This was kind of a short one today, but if you did watch the entire thing, leave me the little, I think it's coffee, but we're gonna pretend it's tea emoji. And all relevant links will be down in the description. Definitely go check them out and follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to hang out with me on the day-to-day. Also, leave me some of your unpopular bookish opinions down in the comments below. I would love to read them. I just think it's so fun to see what people think about things. But yeah, thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.